Good morning. Today I'm going to edit this image here. I think I took it last week. It was in January, but who knows what day. It was really rainy, and I know it gets really foggy on Stone Mountain, and I love the fog, and I love Stone Mountain, so I hiked up it to take some pictures. It was really fun. Um, so what drew me to this scene was these orange trees and then this big tree and of course the rocks coming down. I love it. So we're gonna go ahead and process this image today. It's not gonna be a lot, but still. So I like the fog a lot, but the nature of fog is to have no contrast. So I'm still trying to work out how to convey that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump up the contrast just a little bit. And you can see that it's taking my highlight down, which is taking the tree down, which is what I want. It's kind of a problem. So the clarity is up. Let's see if we, now I'm gonna knock that down. Let's say like maybe 20-ish. I'm gonna get a graduated filter, drag it from this side. I don't know how it just puts these things here. I don't want that. I don't want that. All I want to do is make it a little bit darker here. And maybe a little bit of the clarity. So maybe that's good. I don't know, what do you think? Yeah. I don't want to lose the softness though. So when you're editing your photos, this is all the stuff you have to think about. You can't just, I mean, you can, but if you just take an image and leave it, then it's up to your camera to interpret what you present to the world. So, I mean, that's fine if you're okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. I want to make sure that mainly that I like it. So what we're doing now is just making sure that I like it as I saw it, because it's something obviously drew me here. Let's just go ahead and try to convey that in the final piece. So we're here and here, and I think we'll be okay. So let's go back here for a minute, and we're gonna go into the HSL sliders. And what I want to do is pump this orange up just a little bit. So we're gonna pump up the saturation of the orange, which should affect here too, but might doesn't. The computer might not see that as orange. That's fine. We'll fix it. And then we're gonna make it a little bit lighter, luminance, and it sees it as red. So you can pump that up. So you see that before and after right there. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Even if it's something simple, if you do it in the raw conversion, I mean, you can see, let's go here. Where's my actions? Where's my history? I mean, this is where we started. Oops. Stop. This is where we are. Oh, I know, because I picked up the PSD. And I'll keep my raw files after I already look at them. So anyway, here's where we are. Let's go in, and so if you shoot film, just try to remember to have more than one. So I have two film cameras, and both of them had black and white, which was kind of a dope move, because what's the point of that? So I don't have any color in my cameras, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna go in and just pick up a film set that I like. When the black and whites come back though, I think they'll be pretty nice. This is my second attempt actually at shooting fog. Went to Brasstown Bald and metered it wrong, and I was very sad. And I'm still very sad because every time I went back, it was perfectly clear I mean, like the clearest of clear days. And now the road is closed, so what you gonna do? To go back. And hopefully one day God will bless me with a super foggy day again and I can redeem myself. So what I'm trying to do is pick up that orange color. I don't want the grass to be green. I do like the fog. I'm thinking this here. So we can bump up the contrast just a little bit. Here. I don't want to make it gray, but here. Pull down the shadows, pull down the highlights just a little bit. Again, we're going to go in here and the sensitivity of the red, pull it down just a little bit, make it a little bit darker, which is opposite of what I just did, but you don't want it to look unnatural. You just want it to stand out a little bit, which I think it does. Pull up the saturation a little bit. I don't want any grain. Well, you know what? Maybe a little bit of grain, a little bit of texture. And I think that's going to be it for this one. I can't imagine. Well, you know what? We got time. Let's look at this one maybe. It's not terrible. And tonal contrast, which is another one of my favorites. But I don't want to destroy the fog. That's the whole point of going up there. Alright, so what I do like is what's going on here. So we're just going to put a control point minus. And it's basically Nick's or Google's or whatever version of like a mask, basically. And I'm going to take it back off of the background. I don't want it there. You go in here and now you can do your light switch off, on, off, on. And I just took it back. I want to keep that look, but I want your eye to come here. And I kind of want your eye to come here. These two should ping off each other, but we'll work on that in a minute. Let's hit OK. So one other thing I did this image the other day actually. And it's not too bad. That's pretty good. Just see if you like it, obviously, right? And if you don't, because you're working with smart objects, hopefully, I guess I have to do a video on smart objects. But if you don't like it, you can just go back in and change it. You just double click it and it opens up the program for you again. So the beauty of smart objects is just boundless. It's just wonderful. I love smart objects so much. It's such a good idea. So if you don't like it, you go back in here and you just say do this, which is kind of cool. And you can do this as much as your computer will allow before it crashes. So there's ta-da, which actually is not bad. So you just go back. So now we're gonna go into analog effects here, and I'm going to add a film preset on top of the film preset I already added. You're like, what? But it's fun. It works. So let's see, this one, these three are my favorites, which I like. I generally don't like a real warm image, and this real cool image is crazy. And then the cool presets are a little bit too whacked out. It's not terrible. And then they have subtle, which still is very warm. I mean, Stone Mountain's not pink. And then black and white. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to choose this one. You can do it as faded as you want. You can go back in here, right about here, and then you can say make it look like the image or not. It's about there. Again, more texture. You know, I don't think we don't need any dust and scratches here. Let's see. And it always pulls in basic adjustments. I'm kind of gonna pull that down, pull it down, pull this down, because we already did a lot of this. So you can see now it's just affecting basically the highlights, which is what I want. Then yeah, we can leave the vignette on, that's fine. Except for I shoot rectangles, I don't shoot square. I don't shoot circles. You can see pulling in just a tiny bit. But not anything weird. Hit okay. Okay, now you can just see what we did there. Just gives it more of a warm look. Now you can do this stuff in curves. You can do this in levels. You do whatever you want, but it's just something neat about how that algorithm works. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add an adjustment layer. We're gonna do selective color and try to pick up, see if it can read this. I'm gonna, good. So you can see what Photoshop considers to be red is this, which is what I wanted, and this, which is good. See that? If you take out the cyan of a color, normally the cyan is going to, for lack of a better word, darken it down, dull it down. If you take that cyan out, it brightens it up, which is what I'm doing here. It's taking that down, brightening it up. If you add magenta, it's going to push it to the pink. If you take it away, it's going to push it to orange, which I'm going to do that. And then yellow is going to make it pink or yellow. So bring that back up a little bit. All right. I'm going to copy that layer, and I'm going to change the layer mask and hide it. And now you can't see it. And I'm just going to go in here, a very, very, very large, no, a little bit too large. And I'm going to put what we just did on this side here, because this is in the mist, so it's not going to have as much contrast. It's not going to have as much, you know, it's not going to be as visible, but you can see this. Now, what I'm going to do also, I'm going to group the selective color, what I just did. I'm going to group this. I'm going to move the layer mask to the group, have a selective color in here, and now I'm going to add a levels here. And we're going to see if this is going to be weird. Look at that. Yay. So it's not totally weird. I'm just trying to bring that out a little bit. See that? Just for that. Nice. Now, what I'm going to do is do a little bit of dodge and burn here. Soft light. Good stuff. And then I'm going to come in here. Oh, O for dodge and burn. I think we did that before. Let's do like 20%. I'm going to try to do this really fast. If you want to make sure you don't mess up, do a very, very, very low opacity and just keep going over it a lot. But today, all I'm doing is adding a tiny bit to the detail of the image. So the realistic part is anything that's in fog, it's not going to have detail. So I can't make it too dark or it's just going to look weird. But I can add more detail here. And it gives it a little bit more depth. You know, like on this ridge here. Like this. But no image is really ever finished. You just have to just stop working on it. So darken this a little tiny bit. So much fun. And it's not anything that's really stands out. We'll look at before and after in just a minute. So now I'm at 20%. I'm going to go down to 7% because these are fully in the fog. So they're not going to have as much detail. It's just not going to be. Alright, so this is Miley here. Off, on, off, on. Very subtle. It does add a little bit to it. What do you think? I like it. I'm going to darken that corner down. And then this one and this one as much as we can to push people here. Speaking of pushing, let's see if I do like the crop. So we're on that tree's on the third and the horizon's kind of on the third, just to make sure. I like it. That's it. Let's see. So what happened was I did this yesterday. I'm actually liking this one better. Every time you do an image, it's going to come out differently. So it's fun. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.